Hello, my name is Gino Barbaro, one of the co-founders of Jake and Gino and the creator of the Baby Money Soldiers concept. In this week's show, we're going to be discussing Baby Money Soldiers specifically and how we use our Baby Money Soldiers. Now, go back to last week's show because last week really defined what a Baby Money Soldier was, and we went over the 3 types of income and the 4 types of expenses, just to put you in that framework, in that mindset of, okay, I've got money coming in. How do I spend my money? And how am I earning my money? Now that we've got that under control, the Baby Money Soldier, here's that dollar. Every dollar that comes into your life is a Baby Money Soldier. It's so important to understand that. Now, there's many ways we can use Baby Money Soldiers. The very first one, when you have a dollar, expenses, boom. Operating expenses, luxuries. If you kill your Baby Money Soldiers early, what happens? They won't procreate. They won't grow. So please start writing this down. If you got a piece of paper, it's important because once you understand these simple concepts and you start following these rules, inevitably you will become wealthy. Because I've never seen a person create true wealth and create true financial freedom without the ability to save some of their money, Baby Money Soldiers, and to reinvest them and to let them grow. Ask yourself, are you working hard for your money or is your money working hard for you? My money was not working hard for me before I met Jake. It just wasn't. I knew that I was, but I wasn't putting my money to work. I was killing my Baby Money Soldiers too early with expenses. Now, understanding that certain expenses you just need in life. You need to have rent. You need to pay for food. You need to have basic types of clothing. I mean, do we need a Louis Vuitton bag? Probably not. You can go for a cheaper bag, but understanding that is truly important. What are your expenses? And then look at the luxuries that you have. I differ from Jake in the fact that I think you do need some type of luxuries in your life. You need to enjoy life. But just understand early on when you're starting out your career, your investing career, and you're trying to become financially free, every dollar that you put towards that vacation that you really don't need, or every dollar that you put towards that luxury, like jewelry or an expensive car or a high mortgage for that house, you're really killing your Baby Money Soldiers. So understand that. Now, as you start to grow and you start putting your Baby Money Soldiers on the side and you start saving them and you start investing them and you start allowing your investments to pay for those luxuries, different story. I want you to get to that point where your savings and your investments pay for those luxuries. Now, the next one, pretty obvious. I've said the word a couple of times, but to save. You need to save your Baby Money Soldiers. Put them in the bank for a couple of reasons. We've been taught over the last several years that cash is trash. Well, I don't hear very many people saying that right now. The only way you will ever become financially independent or financially free or achieve that level of success in the financial world is if you're able to save some of that money, to defer it. And for 2 reasons. Number 1, you really need to save that money to buy an asset. That asset will pay for the event, whether it's college, whether it's for retirement, whether you're buying a car, right? You need to save that money to deploy it. And the other form of savings that I really think is important is you don't want to rush all your Baby Money Soldiers out onto the battlefield because all of a sudden the battlefield may change. All of a sudden the market may shift. All of a sudden you may see another opportunity on your left flank and you have to shift those Baby Money Soldiers, but you don't have any in reserve, nothing saved, so you can't put any out. Understand when you need to actually deploy them all and say, I've got this amazing opportunity. There may be times when you do that, and I've done that before, but it was because there were 2 amazing deals, and from the Baby Money Soldiers that created from those deals, I was able to procreate and create even more than I had in reserve. So understanding putting them on the side, allowing them for protection because an opportunity may come up, but not even that. Let's say something happens in your personal life where you have, your car breaks down, or all of a sudden you have an unexpected expense. If it's saved in reserve, man, you feel so much better when that happens. So savings is another one. Obviously, we've also been talking about investing. Investing is another way that, and probably the most important way that you're going to utilize your Baby Money Soldiers. The investing will allow you to be able to go out into the world, invest those Baby Money Soldiers, let them procreate, let them grow, and let them continue to create more Baby Money Soldiers. Remember, your Baby Money Soldiers are working hard for you. The next one I would mention is Legacy planning. I mean, legacy planning is so important. How much are you spending of your baby money soldiers to protect the legacy? Do you have an estate plan set up? It's important. It's not cheap, not expensive, but it's necessary. You're building something so important here. You're controlling your destiny in this life. Why not control it for future generations? Why leave it up to them to be able to fight and to squander what you've built? Utilize some of those baby money soldiers for that reason. That brings along also whole life insurance. Put some of those baby money soldiers into a whole life policy. Two purposes. Actually, there's multiple purposes. But one of those is remember the savings, remember that money in reserve. You're having some of that money in reserve in a guaranteed plan that's creating some type of guaranteed dividend every year. But you're also getting protection. You're also getting the estate planning, the legacy planning. So when something happens, you have the death benefit. Utilizing that is really important. Now, this next one, think about a moat. And your castle is right in the middle of the moat. Use some of those baby money soldiers for protection. Home insurance, life insurance, like we just mentioned, auto insurance. If you're renting, there's renter's insurance, disability insurance, all those types of insurances that will protect you if something happens. Garrett Gunderson says it best. We've interviewed him a couple times on the Jake and Gino podcast. Insure for the catastrophic, not the consequential. Make sure that you have enough coverage to be able to cover yourself if something catastrophic happens, but make sure that you're not overpaying on your insurance. I recently just raised my deductibles on my car insurance from $500 to $1,500. Now, I'm not going to put in a claim if I get a car, into an accident for $1,000. So why would I have my deductible so low? I raised it by the amount of money that I'm saving. It's just amazing. I'll be saving over $1,000 a year. And I've got several cars. I've got a lot of drivers in my family. But by doing that, I'm going to recoup that deductible from $500 to $1,500, $1,000 in less than a year. So for me, it made total sense. Going forward, I'm insured. Also, look at umbrella insurance. I've got a $5 million policy for umbrella insurance. It's important that you're protecting yourself and your family. So understand what that protection looks like. Now, the other one, I got three more for you here. Education, which is truly important. It looks like an expense. You're pulling money out, you're going to college, you're going to the Jake and Gino program, you're doing these masterminds. But education, look at it as an investment because it's something that you're learning. It's a skill that you're learning that you're able to utilize into the future to be able to earn more money. Now, charity is a great way to utilize your baby money soldiers. It is an excellent way to create impact from those baby money soldiers that you've been creating. Understand that that's a nice bucket to have there to be able to say to yourself, wow, I've made these baby money soldiers. Let me see where I can divert some of them and start creating impact in other people's lives because they've created so much impact in my life. Now, this last one, I like it because it's sort of a spin-off on the baby money soldier. But think of this. When you go to a bank, you're going to a bank in real estate, and you're out there and you're loaning money from the bank. We call that money mercenaries. We're borrowing money from the bank. And what do you do with mercenaries? You have to pay mercenaries to be able to fight for you. And that's what you're doing when you're borrowing money from a bank. You're paying that bank interest, aren't you? So every time you see yourself going to a bank or you're going to private money or wherever that is, what is that return on the money? What is the cost of that money? There's a cost associated with it, which is interest rates and possibly points, but it's okay that there's a cost. You're able to utilize those baby money soldiers, put them on your battlefield, and go and conquer more properties. That's the goal. That's why when you hear people say debt is bad, debt may be bad if it's used unwisely or if it's used for your personal life. But if it's used for your business life, if you're using baby money soldiers as mercenaries in your business life to go out and to conquer more properties. And then once you take over another property, you fix that property up. That property gets repositioned, as we say in multifamily. And then all of a sudden you refinance that property and you pull out all those baby money soldiers. Now you have more baby money soldiers to go out there and to fight. So you look at another property to take over, you go to a bank, you get mercenaries from a bank, You put them together with your baby money soldiers, all of a sudden that $2 million property where you needed 20% down, you had 400,000 baby money soldiers, 1.6 million baby money soldiers is coming from the bank. You've got a total of $2 million worth of baby money soldiers. And you let them continue to fight and continue to prosper. And then from there, you're able to pull back and to say, where can I divert money to charity? Where can I divert it to my expenses? Where can I divert it to my luxuries, to my savings? Once you understand that concept, that's the true path to wealth creation and to creating a legacy. Because once you're able to control the flow of your money, you're able to divert it to wherever you need it. And the most important thing with baby money soldiers is not to kill them off, especially early on. You want them to go out on that battlefield, whatever battlefield it may be. If you're doing crypto, if you're buying stocks, if you're buying bonds, if you're in a fix and flip market where you're flipping real estate, you want to continue to invest those baby money soldiers there and continue to procreate. That is the path to true financial freedom. Now, in the next show, this is important because we've talked about expenses. Now we've talked about how the way people use them. I really want to dive into the different mindsets. What's the difference between a poor person's mindset, a middle person's mindset, and a wealthy person's mindset? How does each of those mindsets, not how much do they each earn, but their mindsets, how do each of those mindsets utilize their baby money soldiers? And if you want to be wealthy, there are certain things that wealthy people do with their baby money soldiers. Once again, they don't kill them early. They continue to invest in them. So it's important that you tune in next week on that show because we'll be discussing those different mindsets. Once again, I just want to thank you for spending part of your day with the Jake and Gino community, with myself, discussing baby money soldiers, discussing personal growth and personal finance, understanding the flow of money and understanding how to become financially free. Thanks again, and we'll see you on next week's show. Thanks for tuning in. If you enjoyed today's video, be sure to like and subscribe so you'll never miss another episode.